שלום לכולם, כאן אמן הבלונים ברק דגן, והיום אני נפגש כאן עם אחד מאמני הבלונים האהובים עליי ביותר בעולם, עדי סומך, שבא כאן לביקור בישראל, ואנחנו כאן אצלי בדירה. שלום לך עדי.
חביבי.
עדי עשה המון דברים בעולם הבלונים, הוא צילם סרט שבו הוא טייל בעולם עם צלם, והם עשו כובעים בכל מיני מקומות אקזוטיים בעולם. הוא מנגן על בס מבלונים, נכון? מנגן על בס מבלונים, והמציא אומנות שלמה של כובעי בלונים שאני באופן אישי מאוד מאוד אוהב, וכמובן גם עוד המון אנשים בעולם. והוא כאן איתנו ונדבר איתו קצת ונקבל ממנו קצת אינסייטס מעניינים, כל מיני רעיונות מעניינים. שלום לך עדי. Hi Adi, how are you?
Hello.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Adi, you know what? If you can tell us, how did you enter the balloon world?
Well, I honestly remember, I don't even remember what happened 20 minutes ago or 2 weeks ago, but I do remember very clearly when I was 3 or 4 years old having this feeling that the most important thing in the world was making sad people happy. That if you could transform someone's emotion when they're really sad and make them, give them either not just a distraction, but even a hopeful feeling, that somehow was the most important thing in the world. That was just something I was born with. And what I didn't feel, however, I was born with any way to do that. It was just a feeling I had, an idea I had, and I was kind of tortured because I just had zero artistic talent. And I watched young people when I was a kid be good at baseball or good at ballet, and I just thought, okay, if you just keep doing that, you're going to be great, you're going to be amazing when you're 21, and I just wasn't good at anything. And it really upset me, and I just figured, okay, this is the way it is. I was born with a desire to be good at something, but without the ability. And then when I was 19, I just started twisting balloons for the first time, just as a way to pay my car insurance. It was not, I worked at a pizza place, and it wasn't enough money, so I started twisting balloons at night. And I could do it, I figured, because I could just talk. And I just thought balloons were the stupidest thing in the world. I thought it was like for clowns, or it was for children, and I didn't think it was art at all. And my parents were humiliated that, you know, they wanted me to be a doctor or a lawyer, and the fact that I was a balloon guy was embarrassing to them, and they just hoped that it was going to be just a summer job. But it was for the first time ever, I felt then two things. I felt I was good at it. It was the first time I ever felt I was good at something. Like I understood it naturally, and I didn't have a teacher. It was just something I understood. And also, I was able to make people happy, especially sad people happy. And it connected with that thing that I felt from when I was a child. So it was kind of a very important experience for me at that time to feel those two things. And I was still embarrassed that I was a balloon guy because I really wanted to just be a musician. I would have been happy making people happy playing the trombone. But I was just making money. I was making cash, and I didn't have to drive to work every day, and I didn't have to shave every day, and I didn't have a boss looking over my shoulder telling me what I was doing. And so I just kept doing it. And that's how I kind of entered the balloon world, purely as a way to make money, but it dovetailed with this deeper desire I had to be able to make people happy.
Mm-hmm. So since then you've made so many different things with balloons. I mean, I can say that balloon artists all over the world use your art, love the things you do. You've made so many things with balloons. So can you give us like some tips? How can you get better?
I think the two things I really have with balloons is I have desire and courage. I've thought about this a lot because I don't sit there and think about what am I going to make with balloons, or I don't look at like an elephant and say, how would I make that elephant ear out of balloons? I just never think like that. I just have a desire to make people happy and also not have a boss. That's a big desire of mine. And I have the courage to fail. That's a big one. Because if you're not afraid, if you're too afraid to fail, you're not going to do anything new. You just literally become paralyzed. So I think those are the two things. And practice. I mean, everything is just talk without practice. You know, when you learn how to, say, play a sport, whether it's racquetball or even playing chess, there's theory and practice. You have to learn how the game works, but then you have to go and actually practice it over and over again. And if you just study it, it's just an idea. But once you actually do it over and over again, that's the magic. There's a magic that every human being is capable of experiencing, and that's what I call the magic of muscle memory. Like when you tie your shoe. You don't actually have to sit there and remember how to tie your shoe every single time you tie your shoe. Somehow our bodies remembers how to do it, and we just take it for granted, but really it's pretty magical. So when you twist balloons or you play the guitar or you turn your car on, we have all these amazing shortcuts that we can do because our brain has remembered these things. But it only happens if we invest the time to practice.
Well, personally, I have to say that was fascinating, really. And do you have a suggestion how should a balloon artist practice? And make his muscles like an automatic machine.
Well, I took a lot of my balloon philosophy from jazz musicians. And jazz musicians practice for years and years and years, and it's very not glamorous. You know, it's the rock musicians who spend all the time with their hair and learn 3 chords and try to get laid. The jazz musician will sit there in his room and play the same thing over and over and over and over again. And to me, that's what was really inspiring. So I think as far as practice, first of all, any practice is good. It's better than no practice. But then there's different degrees of efficiency when you're practicing. So you could kind of just mess around and practice the same thing, or you can have more of a systematic challenge for yourself. So I think the first thing is to figure out what you want to do. If you want to learn how to make a balloon animal, or in my case, I improvise. So I'm not looking to make an exact replica of something. So in my particular case, I have a styrofoam head at home. And I have made thousands of hats for this styrofoam head. I've spent more time with this styrofoam head than all my girlfriends combined. Seriously. It's a little embarrassing to admit, but we get along. And she doesn't talk back. And so, and she's always smiling. So, but anyway, I will make balloon hats for this styrofoam head, and then I take a picture. And so, I'll just decide right now I'm not going to do anything for the next hour but make 10 hats that I've never made before. So I challenge myself. I literally create a problem that I have to solve. And then maybe out of those 10 hats, 2 of them are really good. And I'll remember those and use them. Or maybe I came up with a new shape. Maybe I made 8 of them in a row and I really am running out of ideas, so I have to like push myself on the 9th one to something I've never done before. And then you take pictures of or I take pictures of them, so I have a whole catalog of these hats. So that's one of the ways I practice. The other thing is, so that's more of like ideas and theories and shapes, and then the other thing is just the actual fingers. Just actually really being conscious of what you're doing when you're holding the balloon. So I have a friend of mine, Brigham Krause. He's an alto saxophone player, amazing. And the way he plays the saxophone, his fingers move so quickly that it's like water. It's like his fingers are like a waterfall on the saxophone. And I've sat there and watched him play and been amazed by how quickly his fingers move. So I asked him, how'd you do that? And he said he actually plays, when he's practicing at home, he plays as slowly as possible. So he'll literally try to understand what every single finger is doing. And that helps him understand and feel, and that translates into playing faster and faster and faster. Also, I would tell anybody who wants to learn, ask questions to anybody, whether it's a chef or a babysitter or anybody. I mean, you can learn, you can learn about patience from a babysitter, and as far as us being entertainers too, you have to learn patience. You have to learn patience with kids screaming and the client's not happy. But I think you can learn from anybody and apply it to what we do, because as balloon people, we're both artists and entertainers and business people. And we have so many different skills that all come together when you're working. So anyway, to go back to the thing with the practice, I would say any balloon twister should find anybody they admire and ask them how they practice and study it and apply it and internalize it to their own thing and take it to the direction they want.
So, until today, you do practice with balloons?
Yes. I don't practice as much as I used to. I am playing, let me say this. I started playing music about 10 years ago. So most of my practice time is spent practicing music now. Though I think I'm happiest when I am practicing balloon hats. I feel that, okay, I'm actually doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But, you know, look, if you have kids, if you have a business, if you have any responsibility, to carve out time to practice almost seems selfish. Like you're just going to not feed your kids. You're not going to read the book to the kids because, no, you got to sit there and practice your balloons. I understand it's complicated. But the truth is, if you do anything for a half an hour a day for a month, you're a different person at the 30 days later. Whether it's learning another language or exercising or math or music, whatever it is, if you do it for a half hour a day for 30 minutes a day for 30 days, you're a different person a month later. And so it's just really a matter of prioritizing how much you want it. If you want it enough, you'll sleep less.
I agree with you.
But most people, you know, it's scary. It's really scary to test yourself and push your limits because what if you fail? And it's easier just to have to procrastinate or say, okay, I'll do it later than to really push yourself.
So would you like to show us something like literally with your fingers?
Oh, yeah, okay. So here's something that I tell people whenever I teach anybody. To me, this is the most important single thing you could do with a balloon if you want to practice.
Okay. I will take a balloon also.
Okay. So you put about that much air in it. Yeah, that's good. And just watch me first and then we'll do it together. Okay, so you make one bubble like that and you put it right there between my pinky and my ring finger. And what that allows is your thumb and your pointing finger to be free to pinch wherever you want. So the idea is you close your eyes and you just do this as quickly as you can and make as many ballies as you can with the idea that they'd all be the same size. And what that does is that strengthens your fingers and your coordination. And then you, now sometimes it'll unravel like that and that's because you didn't twist it enough times. So the idea is that you twist it 3 times all the way. But the more it's like a guitar player playing scales. Whenever someone starts taking guitar lessons for the first time, they want to learn chords and they want to learn their favorite songs, but the teacher will have them play these scales. And that's how you can see guitar players playing with their eyes closed and playing so quickly, is that the muscle memory has remembered and then they can improvise. So that's what I tell people. You want to do it together?
Yeah.
Here, I'll grab another balloon here. So you can start doing it slowly and slowly build up speed. So one bubble between your pinky and your ring finger, and then you pinch with these 2 fingers here, and then your right hand does the twisting. Right, exactly. And then you pinch right there and give it 3 times, and then you just want to feel that you can, it's so like an upright bass player or a violin player, they don't have frets. So they have to just kind of sense where their hand goes. And so this is the same thing with this. So you just want to slowly, it helps to do it with your eyes closed and then look like, are you doing it right or wrong? And the trick isn't speed at first. The idea first is accuracy. But then the more accurate you get it, the faster you can do it. That's great. That's perfect right there, what you're doing. And what this does is it just makes your fingers a lot stronger. It gives you confidence. When you're twisting, you can, this is like a shape that makes the audience happy because, it's kind of weird and strange. And, we see so little actually being made in front of us that part of the magic of balloons is that you could do this so much to a balloon and it doesn't pop. It trips people out. So, like, I use this a lot when I'm making balloon hats, this shape right here. Right there. So that's it. I tell people if you're watching TV, you can sit there and make bollies. If you're waiting for the bus, you can sit there and make bollies. And it'll make your forearms stronger, and it'll make your fingers stronger. And just start doing it really slowly and accurately, but you'll pick up an incredible amount of speed when you get the muscle memory.
What great.
And here, I'll show you how it could be used in making a balloon hat. Here's just a very simple way, like if I can measure your head here. So this would be just the head base, right? Like that. And then this one, I make this loop like this. And I connect it here. So it's, you know, the 50-50 spot here. So they're both the same way size. And then now with this, I connect it down here. And again, I'll make those bollies right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like that. So you use, there's a tension here. The purple wants to go up, and the bollies bring it down. But you see, it's not really that complicated, or it is complicated at first, but if you learn how to make the bollies, you make it seem very simple.
I really love this design, you know, and I use it a lot.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Another thing I got from jazz musicians, besides improvisation, is negative space. Like, you see a lot of rock musicians, when they do a guitar solo, they play a million notes, like, you know, and that's, I guess, impressive. But what a jazz musician will do is he'll play a trumpet and go like, boop, 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 ba-doo, doo-doo, ba-doo. And that negative space in between the notes is as important as the actual notes. It creates suspense, and it gives like some breath. It lets the audience absorb more of what's happening. You're not shoving stuff down their throat. So I try to have as much negative space in the balloon hats as possible, because I think it makes the actual shape of the balloon more powerful, as opposed to making too much stuff and, you know.
So, I would like to thank Addi. Addi, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. And thanks for all your interest and all the people you teach and all your great designs.
Thank you, thank you. I would like to thank you for arriving for this interview, for giving us your amazing approach and all these amazing tips. And I will just, you know, I will tell you that the whole world will want you to go on and, you know, make some really good new stuff, as you always do. And
well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I think we as balloon people, all of us, whether you've been doing it for 2 weeks or 20 years, we are all very fortunate because we actually get to make people happy. And we get to see that reaction instantly. You know, school teachers, they'll teach a 6-year-old, but they don't get to see how all their work affects them when that 6-year-old becomes 25.
Yeah.
It's delayed gratification, and they may never get that gratification. We actually get to instantly transform someone's emotional state by something so simple, and that's just incredible.
I agree with you. So, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And תודה לכם על ההקשבה. Thank you all for your time, and see you soon.